Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. WWE announces first stadium show in United Kingdom in 30 years. For the first time since the 1992 SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium, WWE will return to the United Kingdom for a stadium show this September. WWE announced Tuesday that a major stadium event will emanate from the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales on Saturday, September 3, 2022. No further details were announced. The Principality Stadium is home to the Wales National Rugby Union team. Quote, Principality Stadium is the perfect place for a major event, hosting our amazing fans from Wales throughout all of Europe and all around the world, said John Porco, WWE Senior Vice President Live Events. The weekend will be filled with a variety of WWE experiences that we believe will leave a lasting memory on par with SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium in 1992. Although the typical capacity of Principality Stadium is roughly 75,000, a boxing bout in 2017 featuring Anthony Joshua reportedly brought in a crowd of 78,000 fans. Drew McIntyre has previously floated the possibility of a match against Tyson Fury at a stadium event in the United Kingdom. Quote, I'm still angling for that significant UK pay-per-view and I won't shut up until it happens, McIntyre told TalkSport last year. Tyson Fury and I have gone back and forth for a long time. If we needed something just a little outside of the box to get people's attention, especially in the UK, with someone of Fury's stature fighting Drew McIntyre in the Battle of Britain, that would really draw some eyes and that's where I'd like to see it. Insurrection 2003 was the last time WWE held a pay-per-view event in the United Kingdom. The event was held at the 10,000-seater Telewest Arena in Newcastle, England. The 1992 SummerSlam, headlined by the British Bulldog vs Bret Hart, was attended by 80,355 fans at Wembley Stadium. WWE to crown unified tag team champions soon. It looks like WWE will be unifying the Raw Tag Team titles and the SmackDown Tag Team titles after all. As we've noted, last Friday's post-WrestleMania 38 edition of SmackDown saw undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns cut a promo on how he wanted SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos to have more gold. He then ordered them to Raw to take the titles from Raw Tag Team Champions Randy Orton and Riddle so that they can unify them. Last night's Raw saw RK Bro defeat Alpha Academy in a non-title match, and after the bout they were confronted by the Usos. After words between the two tag teams, the Usos challenged Orton and Riddle to a title unification match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. Orton responded to the Usos, but the Street Profits interrupted to make the case for why they should be next in line for a title shot. This led to a non-title main event of the night, which saw the Usos defeat Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. After the match, the Usos and RK Bro faced off until the Usos left the ring. Ford and Dawkins tried to attack RK Bro, but it backfired. The Usos then ran in and dropped Orton with a double super kick. Raw went off the air with the Usos raising both sets of title bouts over Orton. WWE has not announced when the title unification match might take place, but they did note that the Usos versus the Profits was held to determine who deserves to challenge RK Bro next. WWE also noted in their Raw recap how the Usos' win brings them one step closer to Reigns' mandate to unify the gold. Big rematch announced for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. WWE has announced a big WrestleMania 38 rematch for the upcoming WrestleMania Backlash Premium Live event. WrestleMania Backlash will feature Cody Rhodes vs Seth Rollins 2. This will be a rematch from Rhodes' return to WWE at WrestleMania 38, which saw him defeat Rollins in singles action. This week's Raw opened up with Rhodes on Miz TV with The Miz, which led to a singles match between the two ring veterans. Rollins watched the match from ringside as the American Nightmare used a Cody Cutter and cross Rhodes to get the pin on the A-lister. After the match, Rollins confronted Rhodes in the ring and challenged him to Part 2, the rematch. WWE later confirmed the match for WrestleMania Backlash after Raw went off the air. WrestleMania Backlash is scheduled for Sunday, March 8 from the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Backstage news on Rey Mysterio's absence from Raw. Rey Mysterio missed Monday Night Raw this week due to a medical issue, according to Dave Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. Rey Mysterio had been advertised ahead of time, but it was not done falsely, and WWE didn't change their minds from the original plans. The master of the 619 was simply unable to appear due to the problem. But it was not revealed what the specific issue was for him. WWE didn't announce this on the show. WWE had advertised a match between Rey Mysterio and Veer Mahaan for the show after last week. The newest WWE superstar has attacked both Rey and Dominic Mysterio during the post-WrestleMania edition of Raw to set up the match. However, when the WWE veteran didn't appear, it ended up being his son that was slotted into that role. Dominic went one-on-one with Veer, which led to a submission victory for the latter. He continued the attack after the bell rang. It resulted in the former SmackDown Tag Team Champion being stretchered out of the arena. This continued the storyline between Veer and the Mysterio family. It is currently unknown when Rey Mysterio will be making his return to WWE television, but it is expected that his rivalry with Veer will continue. Bianca Belair's first Raw Women's title challenger revealed. WWE on-screen official Sonya Deville is set to challenge Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair for the title. This week's WWE Raw saw Belair defeat Queen Zelina Vega in a quick non-title match. After the match, Deville came to the ring with an open contract for Belair's next challenger, her first since capturing the title from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 38 earlier this month. Deville called for a drum roll and gave a grand introduction, but then attacked Belair from behind and proceeded to beat her up. Deville then revealed herself to be Belair's next opponent for the title. Her colleague, Adam Pearce, later stopped her backstage and accused her of abusing her power. Deville said she will be the first WWE official to answer an open challenge, and she will shock the world when she wins the Raw Women's Championship. Deville also warned Pearce that there's nothing he can do to stop her from challenging Belair and making history. Deville also took a shot at Pearce when she said, quote, "Don't be jealous that I'm still in my prime." As can be seen on social media, Zara Schreiber caught up with Belair for her comments on Deville. Quote, "I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. And while Sonya Deville has been wearing suits and making matches for a year, I've been wearing titles and making history. So let's do it," Belair said. Deville has worked several TV and live event matches as of late. She feuded with Ronda Rousey and current WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Naomi during WrestleMania 38 season, and came up short against Aaliyah at 4 WWE live events in late March. The upcoming bout between Belair will be Deville's first TV singles match since losing to Rousey on the March 4 SmackDown. WWE has not confirmed Deville versus Belair for WrestleMania Backlash or any other upcoming event, but we will keep you updated on any further developments. Austin Theory's name changed, WWE United States title match announced. Austin Theory is no more. It was revealed during last night's Raw that WWE has dropped the Austin first name, and the up-and-coming WWE superstar will now be billed by just his last name, Theory. Raw featured a backstage segment where Theory confronted Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, revealing to them how WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon has promised him a shot at Finn Balor's WWE United States title. Theory then revealed the name change, noting how he and Mr. McMahon decided that just Theory is better moving forward. Pearce then ruled that Theory vs. Balor will take place on next week's Raw with the title on the line. Balor and Theory have been feuding for several weeks now. After Balor defeated Theory at WWE live events in December, he then defeated Theory on the December 20 Raw and again at more live events in January. Theory got his win back on the January 17 Raw. In between matches with Theory, Balor captured the WWE United States title from Damian Priest during the February 28 Raw. The feud didn't resume until the March 7 Raw, where Balor won by DQ. Balor then defeated Theory on the March 21 Raw, and that was their last singles match. Theory and SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos defeated Balor, Rick Boogs, and Shinsuke Nakamura on the April 1 WrestleMania 38 Go-Home edition of SmackDown, one night before Theory was defeated by Pat McAfee on the grandest stage of them all. The post-WrestleMania Raw featured another six-man where Theory and the Usos defeated Balor and the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro. Balor did not appear on this week's Raw. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.